Start recording. Recording is good. Let's get our video pulled up here. I'm excited for this one. I'm gonna have to turn the volume up for this one. Now you guys won't be able to hear the video because I have headphones on, but hey, you're gonna have to pay for the Patreon, homie. Alright, let's see. Let's get into Return of the King, the Ride of the Rohirrim. Damn, this is a great scene. Alright. Welcome back, everybody. Another episode of King Shinobi's Scene Breakdowns. We have yet another scene breakdown from the wonderful Lord of the Rings. I couldn't even think of in that moment. I couldn't even think of what to call it, man, because I just love this so much. But this is a wonderful scene in the Lord of the Rings, man. It's Minas Tirith has been sieged, and it's I don't know if they got impregnated by this point, but Minas Tirith is about to fall to the ground. It's pretty much like the last remaining city of man, and this is like Sauron's kind of last effort to destroy any type of hope and just kind of decimate humanity or the world of men, so he can start taking over, man, and shroud the world in darkness. But our heroes here, they're pretty much, man, they've been fighting all day, and they've been getting battered, man, by the forces of Sauron. And you got the Witch King, and you got trolls, and you got was it Grog? I can't remember the name of the big wolf battering ram. You know, they had a lot that they had to deal with, man. So now they get just a glimmer of hope when Rohan shows up to save them. Rohan, they've been gone. They've been gathering up people to come and help. They don't know what to expect when they get there. So this is pretty much like a last ditch effort. Like, hey, we're pretty much gonna go here and plan on dying, because if we don't fight this battle, all of us are gonna be gone. Like, there's gonna be no trace left of us. So we all gotta be all in as men, come together, ride out, and make an impact on a situation that appears very bleak, because they're totally outnumbered, they're outgunned, but you know, some things come through for them, you know, when the time is right. So we're gonna get into this scene where Rohan shows up to Minas Tirith. Remember, they've been fighting all night. You know, soldiers are tired. You know, it's not looking good for these guys. So Rohan shows up and gives them a little glimmer of hope. So let's dive into this, man. Let's stop talking and dive into this damn thing. All right, so this is the Witch King. The Witch King of Angmar, I believe. And he's riding what they call a Nazgul, this bat dragon looking creature. This is pretty much acted as like their air force within this whole battle, are these creatures here. And he commands them, and he's commanding this army. It's pretty much Sauron, his right hand man. So we have Pippin, which is a hobbit. We have to get into that later. But we have Pippin here. We have Shadowfax, the horse. And then we have Gandalf, the white. Came back, rebirth. They're about to have a little altercation with the Witch King.
Go back to the abyss.
Let me turn this up a little bit.
The nothingness that awaits you and your master.
Do you not know death when you see it, old man? This is my power.
So that was Gandalf's staff, and that staff is supposed to be a very, I don't know if you would call it magical device power, but it's definitely a powerful device. And this is kind of like an attestament to like the Witch King's power. He was able to just pretty much his presence, you know, broke that thing, you know. So the Witch King, he ain't nothing to mess around with. As we see Pippin right here, he's become a what did he become? Pretty much he's serving the steward of Gondor. Steward is someone that kind of takes place of the throne while they have no king. You know, he's not the official king, and when the king returns, he's gonna get his ass off of the seat. So Merry has pledged himself to this guy. You guys just got to go back and watch the series and Return of the King especially. But this is my man Pippin right here. He's caused a bit of things throughout this whole tale. I just wanted to point that out right there. You see how that intimidation factor, we were talking about intimidation even in the last Helm's Deep video, but that intimidation factor, as you see, Pippin's first reaction is to save Gandalf until he's intimidated and he completely drops his sword and everything. I just wanted to point that out. Right there, he's ready to go. He's ready to defend Gandalf. Now look at that face. Now it's just utter terror. You know, he's frozen in his tracks. He's too frozen to even defend himself. He can't even hold his sword, you know. It has him that shaken. Another thing I did want to point out is the horse here. Now, this is a noble steed. Shout out to Donkey. This is a noble steed right here. But Shadowfax, you see him standing in front of Gandalf. Now, that's a horse that you want to ride out with right there. He was standing in front of Gandalf, doing what he could. I think he would have got eaten, but, you know, he stood there, man. That's a downed creature right there.
The world of men will fall.
There we go. That's the sound right there. That's like the sound. Excuse me. That's like the sound of salvation. The sound of salvation. That's another thing I love about the Lord of the Rings are the usage of the horns. Like, you know, every place has a different sounding horn. I think that's very cool, man. Like, I want a horn. I would love one of those horns, those Lord of the Ring horns. And the Witch King, look how the Witch King reacts to this. He knows what's up too. Like, that made him ride out. That made him ride out. He knew what was up. He sensed that shit. So, you got, I forgot this guy's name here, but he's pretty much the ground commander down there. He's running things. He also helped orchestrate a ambush of Osgiliath earlier in the story, which is the city that they took over in order to kind of get into the Pelennor Fields, which Minas Tirith, this white city, kind of sits on. So he's like the main commander here on the ground. They here, baby. They here. They here. The Rohirrim. So this is Rohan and the Rohirrim. Rohirrim. As you see, they're the horse lords. You see this little horse figure here on their flag or sigil, whatever you call that. They have these distinctive helmets as well. They have that green that stands out as well. But this is a combination of Rohan soldiers and you know, just soldiers that they've collected to go fight this battle. So it's any and everybody out there coming together, you know, for a common cause. So Rohan has just showed up. They've been riding out. Like, they're tired when they got there. It took them a long time and a long way to get there. So they're tired by this time. And they have to get there with the strength to fight, you know, even after that long ride and all this equipment on and weapons and, you know. So this is what they're about to go into. I just want to go back a little bit right here. As you see all these pikes, this shit's gonna decimate the lines of the infantry. You pretty much turn this into a wall of of spears, man. You know, and they could just mow down that infantry. Not only could they mow them down with the cavalry, so with the horses, but they could also just tear through them. So you can see the tactics that they have, you know. I think that's another cool thing about the Lord of the Rings. The different places have different tactics. You'll see the elven armies fighting a little different. I think it's very cool how they implement those differences. So right here we have King Theoden. This is the king of Rohan. As you see, he has his horses here. Rohan big on horses. He has his noble steed riding into battle with him. Of course, the king's gonna have the special helmet here, kind of covering everything. A little nose guard. Not much, well, not anything on the chin area. But it kind of melds into the rest of the neck armor on down. And as you can see, in that last video we did about Helm's Deep, when I told you that Legolas, the elf, when he was telling the guys where to aim at the armor, you can see a great picture here where there are weaknesses within the construction of the armor, because it really exposes this upper right area. It also exposes the arm. But you know, when you make armor, you have to have some give and take with some things, you know. So, but just kind of pointing out some huge openings like within the armor that the armor doesn't cover, that I haven't really looked into that deeply before. But yeah, this is the king's armor here, and the king's about to do his thing. So that's what he saw. That's the first thing he sees. He rides up and he has to assess all of this. In this moment, he has to assess all this and see how he's going to use his forces to cut through all these lines and lines of enemies. Now you see over here, Minas Tirith. Over here, they burning that, man. They're pretty much overflow right into the city to take it out, man. So they have a lot against them. And another little key point is they also have like pirates coming in from the seas as well. So they were coming to just decimate this place, like just wipe it completely out. No, so this is what Rohan has to run into. This is what King Theoden sees, and this is what he has to adapt his forces to right here in the moment, you know. See that look on his face? He's looking like you can see a little bit of like sadness in his eyes as well. I never really noticed that. You can see a little bit of sadness in his eyes. You can see that determination. You could just see you can see a lot of life lived on the face of Theoden, you know. And yeah, pretty cool. I like that. I like that shot right there. And he's keeping a calm head, man. Even amongst all this chaos, he's keeping a calm head. So that's another hobbit, Merry. So Merry and Pippin, the other one, these guys are pretty much best friends. This is Eowyn here. Now she kind of snuck into the army. She was always one of those girls that wanted to fight instead of like be in dresses and stuff like that. So she gets her chance here. So she's kind of like the princess of Rohan. This is her. She's brought Mary along with him. Well, I mean with her because nobody wanted to take him as extra weight, but she took him. So she's ready to ride into battle. You see that distinct welding and structure of that armor, kind of signifying Rohan. You got your horse up here. As you can see, they differ a bit, so they have different styles as well. But yeah, this is Eowyn and Mary. They're also riding into this for their own reasons. Yeah, she kind of felt Mary get shook. Like, look at Mary's face. Look at that face. Like, he shook. She could feel it. She's like, yo, I gotta comfort him, calm him down. Courage, bruh. Remember why we here. That was Éomer. You guys remember Éomer? He came to save them in Helm's Deep. Him here. He's a commander. So he has his own guys that he's in charge of. He's one of the higher ranking guys.
Form ranks, packets. Form ranks. Pikes in front. Archers behind.
All right, did you guys hear that command that he gave? He told them to form ranks, so they needed to form up. He said pikes in front. So pikes, remember pikes are, they could be long sticks or spears, anything pointy you can get out there and stab a horse with. Or that's going to stop an incoming horse at some point, you know what I'm saying? Or somehow, or some way. So he got the archers behind because you wouldn't want your archers in front because the archers would take the brunt of the influx of horses that are coming in that are breaking the ranks and breaking the lines. So you want to set up your archers so your archers can pick them off before they even hit the lines. You can go ahead and pick some of them off and get some kills before they come in and crush the line, where you'll be forced to deal with all those horses coming through and pretty much like stampeding the lines of the infantry. You know what I'm saying? So that was a good one. Look at these guys. This is what they're fighting. These are the guys that they're fighting here. Look at these red eyes, sharp teeth, straight carnivore teeth. You see they have their own style as well. This doesn't have much on this half of the face, mostly here. It's probably reinforced in the head, and it looks like it's made to deflect arrows too. But it looks like it gets pretty weak in here in this area. So maybe it was designed more to protect the skull, Give and take, It has a chin strap as well right here. Now this armor is gonna be difficult to get through. This looks more like it's overlaid, the armor on here. Well, up towards the shoulder area. Yeah, very interesting. Oops. All right, I wanted to point this guy out. See, this is a little pike spear. These are the guys that are going to be in the front. They're going to be taking that full force of that cavalry coming in. They're going to be taking the full force of it. That's not a good spot to be in, man. You know what? I want to look at that armor a little bit more. Right there, I was just checking out this guy's armor. Looks like they kind of have thinner pieces laid on top of one another. As you see by the joints, you're usually gonna have some exposure by the joints, you know. This guy, he must be one of the lower ranking guys. He only has chainmail. This gauntlet here, this looks pretty decent. But yeah, that chainmail, you can get that through that chainmail easy. At least he has something though. Looks like this is that might be leather. Here, maybe leather armor. Maybe he has leather armor and chainmail. I can't really tell if that's metal, but that doesn't looks more flexible. But who knows? Oh, look at this guy back here. The guy behind him. Look at him. That kind of looks like Juggernaut a little bit. The Juggernaut helmet. He has total face exposure, and it's only coming around the sides here. That's an interesting design. This guy is here. This just looks all kinds of... I wouldn't want this one. You have this point here. Looks like this is blocking the eyes. Yeah. I ain't rocking with that one. All right, let's go. Now you see what Theoden is doing? Remember I told you he was kind of surveying, seeing what he was going to do with the troops? So now he knows what he wants to do. He's telling all the commanders, hey, take your men down the left flank. Hey, you follow the king down the center because the king's going to be in front, down the center, first one out there, just like he should be. You know, and he's telling, you know, hit the left flank. He's telling, hey, Amir, hit the left flank. Telling everybody what's up, man, and he's giving them some encouragement as he goes on. I love that. He says, "Forth and fear no darkness." When you rolling into something like this, that's what I want to hear. Fear no darkness, man. We're gonna bring the light in here, and we gonna clean all this darkness out, man. That's good shit, man. So I really love this part. And this will, if you didn't like Theoden, there's no way you couldn't after this, you know, after everything's all said and done, you got to have mad respect for him. You know what I'm saying? And I really love and appreciate this part, kind of showing that true king energy. Like King Theoden was like just bathing in that true king energy in this moment, you know, and it was really his moment to shine. So it's good shit. Fear no darkness.
Arise, riders of Theoden! Spears shall be shaken! Shields shall be splintered! A sword day! A red day! Ere the sun rises!
He said a sword day, a red day, ere the sun rises. He was like, even on a day like this, when we about to go run into that, the sun is still shining upon us. The sun kind of brought us here. You know what I'm saying? It showed us where we needed to be. And the king, look at all these people here. Now that's king energy that's touching everybody. And everybody's ready to ride out, baby. Yeah, you see, I was telling you. How Rohan, they could use their pikes as they charge in. And then you have the other pikers getting ready for what's to come. So this is coming to this right here. So they have pikes behind them. These guys right here, they just got the worst position. Right in front, and they got to kneel down. But that's to hit those horses, man, right up in there. Boom. So they're going to take out a couple horses, but there's no way they're going to be able to hold that.
Whatever happens, stay with me. I'll look after you.
Ride now! Ride now!
The world's ending. Death. He said, ride for ruin and the world's ending. And then they shouted death. Like, what's up? So before they ride in, he's getting them hype so they can go in there and do the best they could do, man. So those orcs that are sitting there waiting for him to come in, they got to hear death. They just got to hear death, death, death. You know what I'm saying? As they riding in. So they shout that out like, we ready to die. Like, we coming. We coming. I love this, man. Look at my man Theoden. Touching everybody with that energy.
Ride now! Ride now! Ride! Ride for ruin and the world's ending!
Forth Erlingas. I'm sorry. I didn't want to cut that off, but I want to go back a little bit. Those horns. Remember I told you everybody has different horns? Someone send me a horn. I love Lord of the Rings. You can send me a Viking horn. I love these things, man. But I want one of these, man. I want one of these. But you see, that's that last call. That last call, man. Get to blow that horn. They come in. Ride for ruin and the world's ending. And I don't know if y'all noticed that, but how they echoed the horns, like they didn't just and then stop, like they. So I like how they stretched that out, man. Stretched that horn sound out. I like that. Ooh. Yep, here we go. Look, they riding out. Like I was saying earlier, archers are ready. And that's the thing, man. You had to ride into this not even knowing if you would even make it to the lines to fight. Because you could get lost, in the volley of arrows, man. But it's, hey. Do what you gotta do when you gotta do it, It looks like Rohan likes to use axes. There's some larger axes here. I saw some smaller ones. I don't know who that dude is, man, but he was getting it right here. He was riding out to get some orcs. That dude right there. But I love how they mix up them not just charging in, but they mix up the charging in with the reactions of before they make contact. I love that. And you see Mary, he was shook in the beginning, but by the end, look right there, perfect, right there. But right before he goes right into the battle, yo, he's ready. He's ready for death. He's ready. Things changed. Look at that. Look how they running them over. Like, there was nothing. Those pikes, they didn't get, and they were already shook. When it came time to collide, the orcs started getting shook because they saw what was coming upon them. Look, they're not only crushing through the lines. Some guys are gonna hold their spears. Some guys are gonna throw them here. Like, this is all you have to deal with within that first clash, and there's no way they could have stood up to that. I love that scream from Eowyn, man. She's ready. She ready. Now look at that. They just did some hella disruption in those lines. They still have a lot more to cover, but they're totally disrupting the lines now. Like, that throws a huge wrench in the orcs' plans with their arrival and coming in, and they pretty much just came in and just started running shit over, man. So they came in and started doing their thing. Now look, they're just pretty much just trampling them. All right, everybody, there we go, man. Another episode of King Shinobi's scene breakdowns. We had the ride of the Rohirrim, the arrival of the Rohirrim. Great scene. Love that I got to share it with you guys. Remember to hit me up and let me know what you guys want me to break down, what scenes you want me to break down. I'm really enjoying this, and things are getting nice and smooth, and I'm just having fun with it. Because if you guys don't request anything, I'm just gonna do what I like. This is what I'm gonna do. But thank you guys for joining me for another episode of this thing. Remember to hit us up on our Patreon. Remember to subscribe. Remember, we have the bronze, the silver, and gold. So that's advanced and MVP and basic. So come on. Remember, these videos will be available on the advanced, which is the silver tier of our Patreon. And we're going to keep pumping these videos out and giving you guys your money's worth. So appreciate you guys. Thanks for joining me once again. And I will holler at you later. Peace out. Peace out, baby.